Day, and I'm Courtney Cooper. I am the owner of Excel C-Square Farm here in Pennsylvania and a partner in Excel Star Sport Horses. And today we are talking about when you come and look at a horse, both as a buyer and a seller, some things you should keep in mind and some things that you might not have thought of and moving forward. So, before we have anybody come to the farm, before I forget, please let us know where you're calling from or watching from, and let us know if you have any questions, because this is going to be a real interactive one, and we'd love to hear if you have any questions. The first things I usually do when I'm expecting a client is that we'll have the sale horse on the cross ties. Now, we're usually fortunate enough that we have multiple sale horses that we can show to a client, and so we'll have the first one all ready to go, and he's groomed and brushed and his feet are polished. It's like a first date, and you want to make a good impression. So what we try to do is have them cleaned up. We are fine for our clients to come in and brush them or even tack them themselves, but we do like to have the horses prepared to be seen, so they don't have stains on them and no straw. Any questions yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so this is Excel Star Guidam's Cavalier, and Paige is coming to see us. So Paige is on her way in, and so if she were coming in, I'm going to do this a little bit from the buyer's perspective and the seller's perspective. So as I'm coming in and I'm Paige, I'm looking and I'm making sure that if there's a horse on cross ties, I'd like to see what its demeanor is. Is he, pawing? Has he got his ears forward? Does he have his ears back? Is he paying attention to what's going on in the barn? We have a pretty busy barn in that we have 2 mares and foals in the corners that you might be able to see. And so a lot of times the horses will actually get very distracted on cross ties. So it's nice to see that this young horse is obviously young. So from a buyer's perspective or a seller's perspective, when Paige comes in, I'll say this is Excel Star Guidam's Cavalier, and he's a 4-year-old Irish horse that we imported about a month ago. And I'll give her the breeding on the horse. He is by Guidam Jr. out of a Cavalier Royale mare. I don't know if that means anything to you, but I can tell you more if you'd like. And so he has no health history here per se. A lot of times the horses that I am selling are older horses. They've been here, they've been well used. And so I'll tell you a little bit about the medical history of the horse if you're interested. All of our horses are sold with all of their records. The owners provide all of their records. If it's an older horse, if it's a young horse like this, then we're going to provide all of the x-rays and information on the horse. So we go over a little bit of that, and then I like reinstating or hearing what Paige is looking for. So Paige, in a perfect world, tell me what your ideal horse is.
In a perfect world, I am looking for a horse that has some experience at the novice training level. I'm an eventer, a hopeful eventer. I have a lot of experience riding one horse and not a lot of experience riding lots of different types of horses. So somebody who's going to know that they can do the job, and I can sometimes mess up and they can take a joke.
Right.
And is also ready to take on the game with me and is forward and is ready to go. I don't like to be scared, but I'm ready for something with a little bit more personality than my current horse, who is big personality in the barn, small personality under saddle. What else? I don't care much about breeding, although I'm a little bit of a nerd, so I'd love to learn about it, figure it out. Big bone horse is my favorite, but I'm up for anything. And other than that, I don't really care. Just looking for a good personality match. So really trying to see what I jive with and what I like to ride.
So we're lucky today that we have 4 horses to show Paige, and so we'll go through this process with each and every one of them so she can look at them, and then because she's alone and doesn't have a trainer, one thing she might want to do is look at the horse's legs and the horse's feet. This horse has,
Can I do it?
yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. This horse has 4 good feet. He wears pads up front. The hard ground sort of bothered him when he first got here from Ireland, so we put pads on him. He doesn't have any lumps or bumps or bruises, which is good. It's nice to know that'll pick up all 4 of his feet.
Yeah, that is nice to know.
The other thing you want to, do we have a question?
Yes, from Chloe Abijay. She says, hi, watching from Maryland. Tigger says, hi, buying 2 horses from you was such an easy experience, and I'd absolutely do it again.
Super. Well, we hope you don't have to for a while. Tigger does the job for you for a long time. But one of the things that you want to do also is just get a feel of the environment. A lot of times, people feel like dealers or agents, which is how I would be characterized because I sell about 50 horses a year, 50, 60 horses a year. They're a little leery of agents, and so they want to show up early and they want to catch us doing something. I never mind if someone comes early. It's not a problem. An hour early, and they may have to wait because usually we have a schedule planned on what we're going to be doing with the horses, and there are usually more horses that need to be worked and ridden. But we're always happy to do that. What I would say, though, is if you feel like you want to show up and you're concerned that, you know, they might be doing something with the horse, I don't know what they would be doing, but they might be doing something with the horse, then I would have a professional with you who might be able to assess the situation a little bit better. Or if you come back for a second ride and you're interested in vetting the horse, have a vet appointment scheduled right after the appointment so that, you know, you can just go straight from the ride into the vetting. And if you are going to be real early, you know, and you don't want to surprise them, just pick up the phone. I had a client this morning call me, and she had worked through her schedule of horses this morning and wanted to know if she could come early, and I said, unfortunately not, because I have Paige here until about 3.
That's true.
So the next thing we work on is we're going to tack up the horse. I'm actually going to switch with Reese and let her take this on. And this is a good way to see, you know, how the horse behaves. Does it dance around? Some horses are a little peculiar about being tacked up or girthed, and so these are things you want to know. If you bring your own saddle, you're more than welcome to use it. We just need to check to make sure it fits the horse, but that's definitely something that we can do.
I didn't.
Paige did not bring her own saddle. The other thing is you can sort of talk about, you know, the horse's record. This horse has done a couple schooling shows over in Ireland. He's cross-country schooled, and he's actually getting prepared to do the young event horse class this weekend. If he doesn't get sold, we have a couple people looking at him. So we'll see about that. You also, as a buyer, may want to ask at this point, you know, what's the horse's turnout schedule? Has he been out at night? Is he out with a friend? This particular horse actually hasn't been going out because he banged his leg, and so we were trying to get his leg to come down, and we didn't want him to be in a situation where he had unsupervised exercise. So he actually has been in a stall for a couple of weeks and just trying to sort out his leg. He just banged it. And now everything looks good, and actually he'll probably get turned out today, as a matter of fact. But didn't want to do that right before Paige showed up because I didn't want him to pull off his shoes. It's been kind of wet here and muddy. So that's one thing you can do. You can also ask, you know, if they're on any supplements or any different feedstuffs. You know, those are all questions you'd ask also at the end if you liked a horse. One thing you could also ask about is if you were to do a pre-purchase, would there be medical records? Obviously with me there are always medical records, but some people have some and some people don't. And what you do on a pre-purchase. For example, here in this country, if I'm pre-purchasing a horse that's in work and is sound, I'll do a lameness exam, a written exam, a neurologic exam, and then I might take feet and hock x-rays just to have a baseline. When I'm importing a horse from Ireland or overseas, I take quite a few x-rays. I do feet and fetlock, hind fetlocks, hocks, stifles, and their back, just because I don't want to be concerned about anything showing up after the fact. So you can see he is tacked up and ready to go. So the next part of the process is that we will take him outside, and I will hop on him and ride him in all 3 gaits. It's really important when you go to see a horse, unless you know the horse or unless you know the seller very well, to have someone else ride the horse, because you always want to make sure that, well, it is what it says it is. It's a little bit like the personals, this horse shopping thing. You know, everything's tall, dark, and handsome and will pass a vetting. And at the end of the day, that's not always the case. So I'm going to go out and get on this horse and show it in all 3 gaits. I'm going to jump it over some jumps, and then I will have Paige get on if she's interested. So what we thought we would do is, because people are still joining us here, is we would stop at this point, and then we would videotape the rest for use later and bring you guys on board later next week and sort of show you how this all ends up. So thank you for watching. We hope everybody is safe and well. If you have any questions, let us know. You can certainly send us a question on our webpage here and our Facebook page here, and then we will try to answer it in the video to come. Thank you again, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.